always see the confetti like in the Super Bowl, so I was looking up trying to see all the confetti, but it was just unreal, man. For a guy like myself to watch the Super Bowl every year as a kid in my little house in Patterson, to see it and to be a part of it and to win it, it was the best feeling in the world.
Is there interaction with any of the Patriots after the game?
Not directly after the game. I saw, who did I see after the game? Danny Woodhead. I saw Danny Woodhead after the game. He shook my hand and he congratulated me, and you could tell he was, he was down a little bit, but it took a lot for him to congratulate me. So I appreciate Danny Woodhead. He was a stand-up guy.
Other questions? Yes, sir.
Hi, Victor. I have a question. What was your relationship like with Tom Coughlin? Because I know a lot of Giants players, they have different takes on the man, but what was your experience like with the boss man?
My experience was good. I mean, he shoots it to you straight, man. I remember he brought me in his office right after I made the team last year. He was like, man, this training camp wasn't like your first one. You did some good things, but we want to see more out of you. We want to see you get better each and every day. We want to see you continuing to make plays, and or if not, we got some guys on this list over here that we want to bring in. So it was like, he shouted to me straight. When I left that office, I was like, all right, this is it. Like, I got to go out here and make the best of this. And I feel like I did that. So Coach Coughlin is cool. He's stern. He shoots it to you straight, and I think we all respect him for that.
And there's a story in the book about like the first training camp where you go home, you're watching on TV and up in Albany, and all of a sudden you turn him on and he's talking about Victor Cruz.
Exactly. I think it was after one of the practices I had did really well, and the first thing he said was like, man, who needs anybody else? We got Victor Cruz. And I was like, what? So that was pretty cool.
Yeah, most of us live in that world in a dreamland. We're dreaming. Way in the back, yes. Let's get a microphone to that young man. Yes. Excellent. Go.
Hi, Victor.
What's up, man?
Okay. 2 questions, actually.
Okay.
One, who is your favorite athlete, like your whole life? Not like football, like
any sport.
Any sport, yeah.
Any sport? Michael Jordan.
That's right.
And the next question, can you do the salsa?
Hold on, wait. Let's see how, we're about 45 minutes into this. I thought that question was coming at 35 minutes.
Mike.
Maybe at the end we'll do some stuff.
Wait. I'm sorry, you asked, could we do the salsa? You were referring to Victor, not me, right? I just wanted to clarify. I need to clarify. Yes, on the side, right there. Yes. No, other way. We'll try and get to as many of you as possible. Yes, go ahead.
How you doing, Victor?
What's up?
I'm a football coach at Passaic County Tech.
Okay.
What is the best advice that I could give a young athlete?
The best advice you would give them is to, just stay focused. There's going to be a lot of things that go on, especially at Tech. I know that's a big school, so there could be a lot of things, a lot of ups and downs that can go on throughout his day-to-day. So just tell him to stay focused and to stay, fully committed to whatever he's going to do, and good things will happen, and that'll keep his mind focused on the right things. So just stay focused, man, and I think, no matter what happens, no matter the negatives and the positives that happen in his life, when he has the ultimate goal at the end of the career path, I think he'll be okay. Thank you. No problem.
Yes, right here in the red.
No, this has a great story. So I know.
Sorry?
You better tell the story here.
Hi, well, I'm a teacher at PS 169 in Bayside, Queens.
Okay.
And my class was featured on CBS 2 News 3 times on your road to the Super Bowl. They came during the first playoff game. My 4-year-olds were cheering for the Giants. The Giants won, then they came the second time. The Giants won again. Then the Super Bowl, they won the Super Bowl, and the CBS 2 News came again. So I just want to say thank you for everything you do for us and inspiring our children. But my real question was, last month, Dave Deal was in the news. When things like that happen, how does the team come together? And if you said anything to him, what did you specifically say to him?
When I saw him, I just asked him, how he was doing. Was he okay? Did he get, physically injured, or just wanted to make sure his health was fine at first. And then right after that, I didn't ask him about what happened. I didn't ask him with anything. I was like, yo, man, no matter what happens, whatever you need, I'm here. Whatever you need, if you need me to do anything, speak for you, come to something you're doing, a fundraiser, whatever you want me to do, and come speak, for you, I'll definitely do it. So I just wanted to let him know that I was on his side and that I wanted to help him out, in any way that I possibly could. That's right there.
Hello, my name's Tara. I was just wondering if you had to choose one person on the Giants who was like your closest friend this year.
I gotta go.
Talk about putting a guy on the spot.
I gotta go with Hakeem Nicks. He was a guy I would see all the time. He was a guy I would see all the time in the meeting rooms, and we just started talking and realized kind of how similar our backgrounds were, and we spent a lot of time together on and off the field. So he was definitely the closest guy, and continues to be the closest guy.
It's a young man right over there in the yellow on the side. Let's get a microphone to that young man.
Hey Victor, I got two questions for you. First, can I get your autograph?
Of course. When you ask like that, how could I say no?
Yeah.
And second question, can I take a picture with you?
I knew those were two great questions. Yes and yes.
Those are great questions, because after all is said and done, what kind of defense was Dallas playing? Can you sign this? Can you take a picture?
Exactly. Right?
Try and figure something out. Okay. Yes, right up in front here. Yes.
Hey Victor, the first time I noticed you was your breakout game against the Jets in the preseason. How was your confidence going into that game? And what did that game do to produce what you were today?
My confidence was high going into that game. I had a really good training camp. I was making a lot of plays, and I just wanted to be able to physically prove it against another team on that day. So my confidence was high. I was a rookie, obviously, so we didn't get in until the second half, so I was nervous. I had the butterflies the whole first half. But I was just anxious to get out there. So once I got out there and I started making plays, I kind of felt like I arrived, and that definitely just gave me the confidence moving forward to know that I can play, at this level against these teams, against a high caliber defense like the Jets were at the time, and I could make plays against whoever. So I was just excited to prove myself in the regular season. That was the next step for me. Proving myself, I proved myself in the preseason, but really proving myself in the game where it counted, and really did something substantial to help my team win.
In basketball, there are times, as you know, having played, where you feel like everything's going in.
Exactly.
A similar feeling, even though you're not alone in the process, because you have to have someone throw it to you, but is there a similar feeling on the football field?
Definitely. I think that specific game, I felt like I was in the zone. I felt like everything that came my way was like perfect, and I was catching everything almost seamlessly, and I was scoring touchdowns left and right, and it was unreal. I still don't know how I did that game because I was so nervous, and so, my family was there, everybody was there. It was just, it was a great game.
More questions. Right in the middle, the old, not the old man, but the old hat, I was going to say. Hat. You're stressed. Hat.
Hey Victor, what's your reaction when people like Amani Toomer continue to diss Eli Manning?
Oh man, Toom. I actually saw him a couple days ago over at the ESPYs, and I was like, Toom, what's up, man? What you got against us, man? Like, what did we do to you? Didn't we win you a Super Bowl, man? Like, come on. So, I mean, I don't have anything. I kept it short and sweet with him because I wasn't too happy with him at the time. But I just gotta, you can only control what you can control. Other people are gonna say and do what they want to do, and I feel like every year they count us out. They count the Giants out of winning the Super Bowl, and a big show. So every year we're just gonna try and continue to prove people wrong, and no matter if they're former players or people from other teams. So we're just gonna continue to try and prove everybody wrong and keep winning championships.
This is something I'm really interested in. I've covered sports a long time. I think the only team that did not say in all those years, no one gave us a chance, was the Jordan Bulls. I mean, even Jordan got it like I think everybody pretty much gives us a chance. But I've heard like favorites, baseball, the Yankees, other teams that were expected to do really well, say no one gave us a chance. Do you think there's some? Now, in certain circumstances, that's absolutely true. And I think you guys have, have the right to say that. Certainly, the Mets this year, if they make the postseason, they can honestly say, "No, it's true." Okay? But I find other teams use it. So I'm curious, as an athlete, do you think athletes need to kind of build that us versus the world thing up as kind of a psychological thing?
I think so. I think, like you said, for a psychological thing, for a mental aspect, it's always good to kind of have your back against the wall and have everyone count you out so you can, climb your way up the ladder. I think right after we had that 4-game losing skid, we had a, heart-to-heart with ourselves, and we were like, man, there's only one way to go from here, and that's up. And we got to pull ourselves out of this hole. And intro role has some not so forgiving words for us. but we all responded, man, and I think it took all of that for us to get through it and make it to where we wanted to be, and that was the Super Bowl.
Let's take some more questions. Way in the back, in the white shirt. Yep.
How you doing, Victor? What's it like working with Eli in such a short period of time? You guys have such a good relationship with him. What's that like?
It was fun, man. Eli's a good guy to work with. He's fun. I guess a lot of you guys see him as the reserve guy in the media and stuff like that, but we all know him as the guy on Saturday Night Live. So,
is that true? Is he kind of a cut-up?
Not a cut-up, but he's a jokester. He likes to pull a couple pranks here and there, and he has a little bit of sarcasm sometimes and stuff like that. So Eli's a great guy to work with, and once we're on the field, it's definitely all business, and he understands how to make people better. So he's definitely one of the best quarterbacks I've ever worked with, and hopefully the only one I'll ever get to work with.
All he really needs to say is, see these two?
Exactly.
Okay, someone is going like this back there. So whoever's underneath the this back there is gonna get to ask a question. There you go.
Hi, Victor.
What's going on?
I have a friend named Jeremy, and he's your #1 fan. So, can you sign something for him?
I'm sorry, that question's already been taken.
We'll get to everybody.
Okay. Right on the side. Yes, right here on the aisle.
Thank you, Victor. I work for a radio station at Long Island, and I was talking to my listeners this morning about coming here and asking a whole bunch of questions, but since we have a radio station over there in Spanish, the only radio station, La Fiesta, they wanted me to ask you which one is your favorite salsa song?
Which one is my favorite? Any Hector Lavoe song.
Hector. Thank you. And I have another question too. Will you sign me like
I think every question from now on is going to be a question, and then will you? What was the music like growing up in the house? What was the soundtrack like?
Oh man, it was a little bit of everything. My grandfather played that really old school. Yeah, that one. He had the old record player. Right. So he had a bunch of records he was playing, and it was either that slow old school Spanish music, or it was that really upbeat salsa that my grandmother loved to grab me up off that couch and dance with me. But it was definitely that. I remember my grandfather always getting mad because I always thought his record player was like a DJ set. So I was scratching out. He'd be so mad with me when I did that.
He didn't go for that? That's surprising. Okay, right in the middle here. Right in the middle. We get a microphone there.
Hi, great job this season. I'm one of your biggest fans. I'm just wondering, hypothetically, what would you do for a fan who's been here since 9 in the morning and drove to Poughkeepsie in the pouring rain from Suffolk for 3 hours?
Did you tweet me? Was that you?
Cruz's girl jersey. You signed my Cruz's girl jersey.
Okay.
The red one with the white. So I was just hypothetically asking you how much do you
Hypothetically, I'd give you a hug.
That's exactly what I want. That's really what I want. That's all I wanted.
Okay.
You're welcome. Right over here on the side. Microphone.
What Giants player do you look to the most for the most inspiration and motivation when you need it?
That's a good question. Good question. I think it would have to be Justin Tuck. His locker was not too far from mine, so there'd be days where I was coming in early on. I think it was around the first part of the season this year where I wasn't really playing much, and he would come to me like, man, you know, stick with it. You know what I mean? That you're gonna get your opportunities, and just make sure when you get your opportunity, you make the best of it. So don't be over here sulking in your locker. I kind of see you with the puppy dog face right now. Just keep striving and keep working hard. And now he's one of my closest friends, and he always wishes me great on my success. And I see him everywhere, so it's definitely tough.
You know, so we see these professional athletes, and we think you're made of steel. And he's running routes, he's going over the middle, getting banged around, and still on some level, even like a Pop Warner kid or a kid in high school, need that person to come over and say, you know, it's going to be okay.
Exactly. Especially, I remember in high school, we were always kind of battling around, and there were kids on the team that, you know, just kind of was out there just to have the camaraderie. They might not have been the best football players, but they just wanted to be there with us and enjoy that. And sometimes you see them sulking a little bit and stuff like that, but it was always one of our coaches that come up to them like, hey man, you know, keep your head up. And, you know, we're going to win the championship this year, and you're going to be a part of it. So just keep your head up and keep striving. And we did that.
Part of it. That's key. Yes, in the back, right there. Yes.
Being here, Mr. Cruz. Congratulations on the championship and onto the baby. And on a personal note, thank you for helping me win fantasy football.
Really spoken from the heart. It's all about the Giants, but that fantasy football thing, that worked out.
Yeah, that's understandable. My question is, of course, you brought a little salsa flavor to the NFL this past season. How about next season? Any phase 2? Probably a little bachata, a little
No, I think I'm gonna keep it the same, man. Plus, my grandmother would probably kill me.
That's right. There's got to be a contractual obligation at this point. Like you wear certain sneakers, and you can't be, you know.
Can't switch up the dance, right?
A couple more questions. Yes, even this young man right on this, right there.
Victor, how are you? You tweeted me the other day. I came from Florida just and I brought you a gift. Can I come give it to you? This is a book that I want to give you.
Sure. I love gifts.
Okay. No, not right now. Not right now.
Thank you, man. Thank you for the book. I appreciate it. This is awesome.
Okay, a few last. Yes. Right here.
First off, it's an honor to be able to ask you a question. I mean, I'm just verklempt with words.
That's a sweet jersey, too. I like that.
It would mean the world to me if you could somehow autograph it. Okay.
But he had to turn around and make sure it wasn't shocking.
Super Bowl logo, okay.
Take me through your daily routine, like getting ready for a game, and how you altered it for the Super Bowl.
Okay, so you want just a regular game or the Super Bowl?
Yeah, and also I brought you a picture of my reaction when the Giants won the Super Bowl, because I was there. That's just for you to have.
Okay, we'll get to that, yeah.
But enough about you, Victor. Let me tell you
I'll show you my thing. So on game day, I wake up, I have breakfast. I usually have some cereal.
Awesome. What kind?
Honey Nut Cheerios. These are the Balenciaga loafers that I'm wearing today. I couldn't go Jordan. I was gonna go Jordans today, but I thought I'd dress up a little bit for you.
Right next to you. Yes? No, go ahead. Yes.
Oh, I was gonna ask you, do you think you could guard me?
I think I can.
Okay. All right.
Who are they pointing at? Red hat? I can't see them.
Oh, the front. Okay. This is cool.
Hi, my name is Jeremy, and nice job on the football game. I watch you every time. And this has been my dream, meeting you, my first dream. So, my question...
Get up here. Come on. Jeremy, just to clarify, you are talking to Victor right now, right? Yeah, you need to make sure. Hey, Jeremy! Any questions for Jeremy? Let's take a couple more. Yes, this right in the middle, right there. Can we get a microphone there?
Growing up in Patterson, are there any memories that stick out with all the challenges that you probably had in that type of environment?
Oh man, to pick one, it's probably not the best memory, but I remember being in grammar school, and at School 21, we didn't have basketball courts, but we had this red wall. It was like, part of the school building. Schools are red and blue and stuff. So we had the red wall, and then there was this white lining across the top. So I remember one day, it was around maybe 4th or 5th grade, we came out and looked, we all had a basketball, and we was like, this white line could be our rim. Yeah. So we all literally started playing basketball games and shooting at the white line. So we would legit, it would be like really intense, like 5-on-5, full court, like basketball games on this white line. And if you hit under the white line, like didn't count, like you had to hit it like right on top. Like it was the weirdest thing, but.
And do you feel compelled to give back to the community or to be a mentor to any of those children that can't get out of an environment like that?
Most definitely. I just recently started my foundation, and it's going to be geared towards inner city kids and kids specifically in Patterson, to get them acclimated, to talk to them about college and talk to them about the things they have to do to get to college, because a lot of them, they know about college, but they don't know how to get there. So I think my job is to get them the proper courses, understanding what courses they need in high school and even grammar school to get to college, and just college preparatory classes, because some of them get to college and then, like myself, I didn't take a lot of college preparatory classes, and I got to college and was like a fish out of water. So I want to make sure those kids understand what college is all about, and they're not, shell-shocked once they land at a university.
Take two more. Go ahead. Give your hand up.
Hey, Vic, congrats on your Super Bowl win. Be honest here. What safety or cornerback or even a team gives you the most trouble?
Gave me the most trouble. Although I may not have appeared so, the 49ers. Their defense, their secondary specifically, was just flying around, man, and they like to hit you even if you don't have the ball. They're gonna put a shoulder pad into you, and they're gonna make you feel them. So I think that game was by far one of the toughest games. Both times we played them was probably by far one of the toughest games I've ever played in.
In the first game, you had a good game.
Yeah, we almost it came down to the wire the last game, the last play, but it got batted down right at the end. But we got it back.
And I'm sure you're aware about the bounty scandal with the Saints. Did you ever feel like there was a bounty with you when you played against the Saints?
No, I don't think so. I mean, it kind of was all kind of routine against me, but going back and looking at the film, there were a couple iffy situations, but we're not going to talk about those here.
Thank you.
No problem, thank you.
Last one. Yes, on the aisle, just behind the gentleman in the coat, right there.
Right there.
I would like to thank for being here with us today. It means a lot. For my group, for the for all the members attending here today. I'm going to have my spokesperson direct the question to you.
Okay.
Were you nervous when you first started football?
That's a great question.
I remember my dad coming to my door the first day. He asked me if I wanted to play football, and I kind of looked up at my mother, and my mother was like, "Don't look at me, he asked you." And I was like, "Sure, Dad, I'll go play." And then the first day, there was no like, I guess in Patterson, there's no like trial period where you just like go out there with no pads and like run around. It was just like, all right, here's your pads, here's your helmet, go out there and start hitting around. So I was just like, okay. So I go out there and I was nervous. I was kind of like walking like a stick figure out there. But once I loosened up, once I understood, I had a couple friends that played. So when I started off, I was a little nervous, but once I got comfortable, I was good to go.
At that time, or maybe a little bit older than that, a little bit older than Jeremy here, a little bit older than some of the people that we have here in the audience. And I'm sorry we can't get to each and every question. I'm sorry because of time constraints that we can't do that. What did you allow yourself to dream about?
I was just dreaming about, getting to my dream, getting to whatever my goal was. I wanted to be a professional athlete. Ever since I was a little kid, I always wanted to be, whether it was basketball or football, I always wanted to play a sport. So whatever it was, I remember dreaming about, you guys might not like this, but I used to dream of being Deion Sanders. I used to dream about, just being one of the best players in any league, in any profession that there was. And there were times where those seemed far-fetched when I was going up and down, getting kicked out of school, and, not having to go to prep school, which is another interesting story. But I just remember always being able to achieve those dreams and always being able to setting those short-term goals for myself and achieving them and making them. And once I got to the NFL, I was like, man, I made it to the ultimate goal, but it's not, it's not done yet. I want to keep winning. I want to be a starter. I want to, do that. And now that I've become all those things, I kind of sit back and I'm like, man, I've really come a long way. I remember dreaming about being out here and wearing an NFL jersey, and now, not only was I wearing an NFL jersey, but I won a Super Bowl. So it was just, all of that coming together. All of that coming together and coming around full circle is just, it's a blessing from God. And I'm just happy to be here to hang out with guys like Jeremy. Talk to a beautiful crowd like you guys that came here and support me and everything that I do. And I want to thank you guys from the bottom of my heart for being here and supporting every endeavor that I've done. So thank you.
It's a great story. It's a great story told in the book. The book is called Out of the Blue with Peter Schrager. It's a great story, and one of the great parts for New Yorkers, for New York sports fans, certainly for Giants fans, is the story's only getting started. Congratulations.
Thank you.